Luckily for you, it wasn't being recorded. Now we're recording. And welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is Clint Arthur. I am your host. And it is time to play America's fastest growing game show. Where in the world is Clint Arthur? Are there any guesses? If you have a guess and you'd like to play in today's edition of America's fastest growing game show, please type your guess into chat. If you have a guess as to where in the world is Clint Arthur. No, I am not in Dallas. That was a good guess, though, because I was in Dallas 2 days ago, and I'll be back in Dallas tomorrow, but I'm not in Dallas right now, and I'm not in New York City either. Final guess coming in on the chat. Any other guesses? Zurich? I am not in Zurich. No, I'm not in Zurich. Only, who is Matt? Matt Loop is in Zurich, I think he is. I'm pretty much in the opposite of Zurich. Any final guesses? Oh, Teresa Tucson. Very good guess, and she is the winner. I am in Tucson. Muting. I am in Tucson. Imagine that. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, it's great. It's a great city. Here's the funny part. This is the really funny part, and I want you guys to understand. I have been to Tucson so many times. See, we used to have a very good friend who was a producer here in Tucson, and he came to every single celebrity launch pad until he got fired from his job producing a show in Tucson on ABC in Tucson. We had dinner with him last night, Ken Carr. And he was such a good friend of Celebrity Launchpad. I used to go to Tucson and do my titanium coaching sessions at his studio in Tucson. I used to go in there like I own the place. And in fact, for those of you who've seen the video, this is a good video. I'm going to play you this video. This was shot in that studio. On guaranteedcelebrity.com, at the bottom of the page, I have this video.
Hey everybody, I'm Clint Arthur, #1 best-selling author of Breakthrough Your Upper Limits on TV and creator of Celebrity Launchpad. When people come through Celebrity Launchpad, if you're an author, a speaker, a coach, an entrepreneur, a messenger of any kind, my goal for you is that you're going to come out a master communicator.
Now this was shot a little more than 2.5 years ago, I would say. And, you know, just watching this video, I see the mistake already. I said, check this out. I want you all to get this. And I think Leon will get it. And I believe Will get it. Tamisa will probably get it. I go, and creator of Celebrity Launchpad. That's wrong. And creator of Celebrity Launchpad. See? You see the difference? Hey, this is Clint Arthur. Let's see what I said.
Celebrity Launchpad. If you're an author, it's on TV, and creator of Celebrity Launchpad.
See, it's like I'm skipping over it, like it doesn't matter. When in fact, this whole video is promoting Celebrity Launchpad. Hey, I'm #1 best-selling author of Breakthrough Your Upper Limits on TV and creator of Celebrity Launchpad. See? Leon gets it.
Come through Celebrity Launchpad. If you're an author, a speaker, a coach, an entrepreneur, a messenger of any kind, my goal for you is that you're going to come out a master communicator. That's right. You're going to be able to stand up in front of any room, in front of anyone, in front of any group, in front of one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, and you're going to be able to speak and share your message in a way where people feel like you're just talking. That's right. They're going to think, oh man, that guy is just talking. and they're going to feel like they're heard. They're going to feel like you understand them. They're going to feel like they understand you and that they know you and like you and trust you. And they're going to feel like they understand your message and what your vision is of how to make the world a better place. That's goal number one. Goal number two is that you are going to leave Celebrity Launchpad with your message, your unique message, your snowflake moment of why you are special and what you have to offer the world and the planet to make the place a better, the world a better place. And it's going to be concise and worked and honed, and you're going to be able to share it in a way that makes you feel proud about what you do. It makes you feel like everything that you want to share with the world is encapsulated into that message, and it's easy for people to get it. And then the third goal is that you are going to be able to take that message and share it on TV. You're going to be able to go into studios like this all over the country. You're going to have your pitch, you're going to have your segment, you're going to know how to pitch it in a professional way, and you're going to be able to meet with any journalist, anywhere, anytime, under any circumstances, and you're going to be able to share your unique message in a way that a journalist will be attracted and will be wanting to invite you on their show or to do an article with you or to help you to spread your good work. Those are the three goals of Celebrity Launchpad. And when you have that level of communication mastery and you can be able to do what I have just described under any circumstances, you're going to be no longer just a messenger. You're going to be a magic messenger. And you're going to go on TV and work your way up from being a small-time entrepreneur to somebody who people know. Then people are going to see you at conferences. They're going to say, wow, you're really making it happen. Keep going, keep going. And you're going to keep working your way up until you're on the biggest shows in America, including Good Morning America, the Today Show, CNN, HLN, Dr. Oz, as my clients, my students, my magic messengers and I have done. It all happens at Celebrity Launchpad. If you're interested, go to guaranteedcelebrity.com, fill out the application. It only takes a minute, and give it all you've got, because it's up to you to step up in your life and in your game to make all of this happen, because you're the messenger. And if you don't do it, nobody else will. And remember, I am looking forward to seeing you on television.
Bianchi is handing me credit cards. Yeah, it's pretty good, you know. Despite the flaws, there's flaws in there, no doubt. I saw the flaws. However, you know, that's what you get when you've been in the same studio over and over and over. See, there's a lot that you can take away from that. Number one, I'm in a good studio, and I've been there a million times. And you know, we arrive here in Phoenix. In Tucson, and Allie's like, "Wow, I've never been to Tucson before." And I've been to Tucson so many freaking times, that I could just walk into that studio and do that. I've been to every city so many times. I've been to Phoenix a million times. I've been to Palm Springs. I've been to Vegas a million times. I've been to every studio. I have paid my dues, guys. You know, people think, and this is the part that kills me, you know, there's a lot of people who have opinions about what it takes to be a seven-figure entrepreneur. But unless you do it, you don't know what it is. And unless you pay the dues, you can't do it. And I'm telling you, I have paid my dues. I have earned every $10,000 contract that I have signed with clients, and I've signed many, 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 many of them. And I've earned every single one, not just because I've learned how to market it and how to sell it and how to enroll people, but also because I've been everywhere. Albuquerque. You know how many times I went to Albuquerque? You know how many times I've picked up the phone and done cold calls? You know how many hundreds of producers I've spoken to on cold calls? You know how many segments I've created and pitched? You have to get to the point where you're not like wondering anymore. That's where you have to get. You have to get to the point where you've done it a million times. And when you've done that, when you've paid your dues like that, then you have a different positioning when it's time for you to go for the sale. It's a completely different attitude. You have to have total confidence, professionalism. You know what professionalism is? Professionalism is having done it 1,000 times. That's when you're a pro. I know Will Nobles knows exactly what that is. Professionalism is, you ready for this one? Professionalism is having closed many, many, many deals exactly like the one you want the prospect to close on right now. It's no big deal. I've done this a million times. I'm not going to be surprised when you hand me your credit card and sign on the dotted line for 10,000, 12,000, whatever the number is. I've done it many, many times. Smart people pull out their credit cards and just hand it to me. As soon as I tell them about what I'm doing, smart people, the people who become my clients in general, just pull out a credit card and roll. That's professionalism when you get to that point. It's fascinating stuff. All of this stuff is fascinating stuff. Hey, I know we got a lot of people who are on TV. A lot of people who have been on TV. Wow, I see Kim Glass. She's been on freaking TV. I see Leon G. Leon G was in Santa Barbara. Yeah. Off a cold call. Awesome. Love that. Will Nobles. I want to start with Will Nobles, though, because I know Will Nobles sent me a beautiful text message. I wish I could bring it up. I think it's in my, I don't know where it is, but Will Nobles brought me a beautiful text message this week. How you doing, Will?
I am doing great.
Yeah,
I mean, I have lost my voice, but I'm doing good.
Why, you from screaming from joy, or what? How come you've lost it?
I don't know. I did a speech yesterday for Robin, and it just shot after last night.
Right on, right on. Well, why don't you tell everybody what celebrity entrepreneurship has done for you? Because I think celebrity entrepreneurship has been very, very good to you.
Yes. So. And there's no way to shave it, carve it. This came directly from Clint and what I've done with Clint. I had a client sign Tuesday for a $1.2 million deal on Tuesday. I'll tell you the story. The guy I went to high school with, he's the CFO of this company. I have not spoken to him in 22 years. It's not like we were buddies or anything. I mean, literally, I have not. He's just been following me on Facebook. He messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, for the past year and a half, I've seen you've been doing a lot of cool things, and I really want your company to take over my IT for the, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Didn't have a clue how big they were. They have 1,400 employees. And and Clint, I haven't told you this, but not only did they sign a $1.2 million deal for the one part, they just signed the other deal that was right at $900,000 today.
So that's 2.1 total.
Just in that one client. Yep.
And what does that bring your overall total to be?
We're probably $4 million at this point.
Of new revenues attributable to celebrity entrepreneurship. Is that a thumbs up?
Absolutely, 100% yes.
Hey, man, you're implementing and you've invested and you showed up, and it's a combination. Listen to what the guy said. I've been following you and watching what you've been doing over the last 18 months or so, which is exactly the amount of time that we've been working together.
Yep. And that's why. And when he said that, I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah, I tell you, man, you deserve it, Will. You really do, because
Thank you.
you just stepped right into it and you went for it. And I remember you had already made money off NASDAQ before you even showed up at NASDAQ.
Yep.
And it's just been continuing, continuing, continuing. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
very
it's
proud of you.
it's like anything you do. It's not going to happen overnight. But yeah, one thing, NASDAQ, I think I landed a $92,000 deal before I even went to NASDAQ, just saying I was going to go. But over the 18 months, I've landed several clients from the celebrity. I mean, I have people asking me to sign my magazine, the magazine that I have. People are asking me to sign that.
Autograph
I,
the magazine.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I have my competitors this week. So I'm in Vegas right now, and I've got my competitors just like Paul and in other markets coming to me like, and these guys are a lot older than I am, and been in business longer than I have, and they're coming to me for advice. And by the way, Clint, I sent a lot to them to you,
Sent
so
a lot of them to me.
you should be getting some calls.
I hope so. I mean, you can't do all the business in the world. Come on now. But I will tell you, I don't know if you have any need for like servers. Do you host your own servers?
Yeah, we have 2 data centers that we host our servers in. Yep.
You have your own data centers.
Well, I don't own the data centers, but the equipment inside those data centers are mine.
Okay, because I know that Greg Hanna's got some excess data center capacity. I know he's looking to fill up some data center capacity. So with all this new stuff, you should talk to him. I'm sure he'd give you a great deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will.
Well, congratulations. This is exactly what I'm talking about, folks. If you follow the ABCs, okay, of attracting and acquiring the best customers, the first step of it all is admiration. If they look at what you're doing and they admire what you're doing, that is the first step to the entire process. And that's exactly what you're seeing played out for Will Nobles and Vector Choice Technology. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. It's been a great week.
Yeah.
Great week.
Yeah, fantastic. And I am working on your book, so don't worry
All right.
about it, okay?
All right.
It'll be coming soon, but that's really awesome. Now, do you have any TV clips that I need to look at?
You know what, Logan, I went back and did Baton Rouge a second time,
Yeah.
and let me grab that real fast.
Sure.
And
If you put it in the chat, I'll be happy to take a look.
I have not even watched it myself because of all the travel.
It's great to have Chad back in Baton Rouge. Were you on with Chad?
Yes, yep. Both times I've been on with Chad, and he's invited me back again. So I've literally been invited back every one I've done so far. They have invited me back.
Look, Will, I would say you're becoming what I refer to as a charisma celebrity. You're becoming a very charismatic person. I don't know if you were before I met you, but what has been accomplished is that we've taken you to a certain level of performance ability where your natural charisma can just come through. And I think that's what's going on here. Because, with all due respect, I don't think you're the quote unquote best performer that I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that you are offering necessarily the most cutting edge information where people are like blown away by the ideas.
Yeah.
But you have a charisma that is coming across, and that's why you're getting a lot of traction. And how many appearances have you done now?
12.
You're going to hit the 21 club pretty soon. It's good.
Yeah, I know Allie and Logan are working on. I've got 4 more for sure this year, and then potentially probably about another 2. So I'll probably get about 6 more done before the end of the year.
All right, let's take a look at this. Will Nobles on Fox, Baton Rouge. Let's see what we got here. Where's my volume? Here we go.
Is an important yet sometimes neglected responsibility. We recently sat back down with cybersecurity expert Will Nobles to learn a few more tips to keep your business safe. Keeping the business owner safe when it comes to cybersecurity. And you've got a top 15 list. We don't have all the time to break through every single one, but starting at the top, it's all about passwords and that password database. What are some of the helpful tips to be mindful of?
A lot of people want to use passwords that are their kids, their wives, their dogs. Don't use any of that. Use a password database like something like LastPass, LASTPASS.
All right. Now, I love that you're talking with your hands. This is a great improvement. I wish that your tie was tied tighter so that it was not distracting me. You see what I'm talking about?
I just noticed that as well. Yep.
Okay. This is a very important thing, guys. When you're a man and you are tying your tie, it's very important that you learn how to do a double Windsor knot. Is that a double Windsor knot?
I don't know. It's what I was taught when I was a kid.
Okay, well, do you loop it over once or do you loop it over twice?
Once.
That's not a double Windsor knot. What I recommend that you do is that you go on YouTube and you watch Tim Ferriss's video on how to tie a double Windsor knot.
Okay.
And when you go on TV, look, when I was growing up and I learned to tie a tie, I was also taught to tie one loop. It's not necessarily even a Windsor knot. It's just the way most American guys are taught how to tie a tie. And what you end up with is a lopsided knot. The double Windsor knot gives you a center. It gives you a more centered appearance of your tie. And it'll also hopefully create a discipline for you where you put that tie all the way up to the top. Okay? All right, cool. Let's continue.
LastPass, that gives you the ability to have your passwords as long as you want. All my passwords are 17 characters. I have no clue. If you held a gun to me, I could not tell you my password.
That's really awesome, man. I have no clue. What you meant to say was, if you put a gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what my password was. That's good. That's good. I want you to practice that 50 times. Hey, I have no clue what my passwords were. I have no clue what my passwords are. You could put a gun to my head and I couldn't tell you what my passwords are. But LastPass handles it all. You got to get that nice and smooth.
Excel spreadsheet or write it down or put it in a Word document on your computer. That's easy to be hacked.
The next step, multi-factor authentication. What do we mean exactly by that?
Well, two-factor is multi-factor or two-factor authentication means you know something and you have something. You know your password and you have your mobile device, where a lot of times if you when you log into your banking account now, you put the password in and then it'll say, I'm going to text you, and it texts you like a 4 or 6 digit code. Okay. That's multi-factor, meaning I know something, I have something.
One term that we hear a lot, and it's kind of scary to think.
I like that a lot. I've never heard that before. I know something and I have something. Very nice. That's good.
Dark web monitoring, and what all is going on there, knowing that cyber criminals are up to no good.
It's the dark web. Everybody's like, what is the dark web? The dark web is the underbelly of the internet. Look at it that way. It's where all the bad things happen. And one of the biggest things out there is passwords. People, when you hear that a website gets hacked, or LinkedIn got hacked in 2016 and so forth, when things get hacked, they put that information on the dark web. And so dark web monitoring for businesses and even for your personal email, definitely you can do that through a LifeLock, and they have dark web monitoring, or Equifax has dark web monitoring for individuals. But for a business, you want a company like me where we can go into the dark web, look and see of your employees what passwords are out there. Because a lot of times the same passwords they use for those secondary websites, they're using to log into your business. So that becomes an issue when it comes to your business.
Okay, I'd like to get a better explanation of what is the dark web.
Okay.
All right. Now, it's my understanding, you tell me if I'm wrong. Dark web is the place where all the bad guys go to sell the stolen passwords, the stolen social security numbers, illegal drugs, illegal guns, child trafficking. That's where all the bad, nasty stuff happens on the internet. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So when you have a security breach like LinkedIn or Target or any of those big hacks where they lose a lot of information, all that data ends up on the dark web for sale to the highest bidder.
Okay.
Now, for individuals, you can go through Equifax or Experian, and they'll do dark web monitoring for you. But for companies, you need a company like me.
Okay.
We monitor the dark web to make sure that our client companies, the companies that we provide security for, don't end up with their private information available to the highest bidder on the interwebs. And in a lot of cases, there's a lot of liability for that. For example, if you're a doctor or a financial advisor and you have breached your fiduciary duty to protect the information of your clients, you could be in a lot of trouble. True?
Yep.
Okay, good. We're making a recording of this. I'll send this out and you'll have all that verbiage on the recording.
Okay.
Cool, let's continue.
Neil, and a quick thought on the final talking point today, cyber insurance. Definitely worth having these days.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, if we say 15 things to protect yourself against cyber attack, doesn't matter if you don't have cyber insurance. Technology is only as good as you put it and you put there. Cyber insurance has helped you protect, just like you have car insurance, just in case you get in a car wreck. A lot of companies, I'm not an insurance expert, but a lot of people say, well, I've got cyber insurance in my general liability. You don't want to just have that. You want to have a separate policy for your cyber insurance. So check with your insurance agent.
Very good. Thank you, Will. And as always, where can viewers go for more information?
You can go to www.willnobles.com.
All right, Will, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, that was
And
nice.
you can also find additional cybersecurity tips on our websites, brproud.com, as well as the free BR Proud app.
It's very important that you guys have a nice, clean exit like that, a dismount. They're always going to say, where can we get more information? You can go to www.willnobles.com. There you go.
I'm Dr. Gerald Bell. And I'm Dr. Leticia Bell.
Cool. What's your big takeaway from your second appearance down there in Baton Rouge?
The second one's always easier because the host, the producers, the whole setup of the layout of the building, what you to expect. So more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. And you have an office down in Baton Rouge, yes?
Yes. Yep.
Hey, you got your nice local hook. That's a very nice local hook. I wish they would, you should say, hey, we have an office. Does he know?
Yes, he does. That's why.
Yeah, he does.
How come they don't say that you're local?
Yeah, I guess I'll make sure to add that in next time because he wants me to come back 2 more times to finish the other of the 15. So I'll do another 5, and then another 5. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, if I was you, I would put on a free cybersecurity seminar at your offices.
Okay.
In conjunction with that.
Okay. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, for business owners.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, Will, what is your best advice for people who want to grow up to be Will Nobles with more than $4 million of new revenues generated by celebrity entrepreneurship?
Do what Clint says. Lead number 1. Know that it's not going to happen overnight. And use the material that you give us. I use it constantly. I'm posting when I'm traveling. I post where I'm going, why I'm going somewhere, and everything on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm out there and getting out there and using all the material that's given to you. Use it everywhere you can.
Before you were participating in this world, were you not active on social media?
I mean, I was, but it was like I would post my kids, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't intentional. Every time I get to the airport, hey, I'm in Atlanta airport, like in the morning, I fly out from Vegas to Atlanta. Hey, heading back home, but my next stop is New York, so I'll mention that. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially for a guy like you, where you travel on business quite a bit and you've got a very active and dynamic life. You do realize that your social media accounts represent your reality series. That's the Will Noble's reality series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have an audience. People are fans, viewers of your series.
Yep.
And as a result of that, you signed over $2 million of new business this week because one of those viewers was so impressed and admiring all the things that you're up to.
And one thing I got to say with that is not once did he ever like or comment on any of my posts. So don't assume that the business is not going to come because you don't get likes. People are seeing it, even though they don't comment or like your post. I mean, this guy has never liked a single post that I've posted, but that's how I got him, was Facebook.
That is so awesome.
Yep.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because it can be very discouraging. It can be very like you feel like nothing's happening or there's no signs that you're making progress. And I have to tell you guys, this world that you've undertaken, this celebrity entrepreneurship world, is a big, big game. It's the biggest game anybody has ever played. All the biggest entrepreneurs are playing this game, including Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton. Donald Trump played it before he became a politician.
Yep.
He played it to the point where he got the most powerful job in the world. With the skills that he developed as a celebrity entrepreneur, the performance skills, the speaking skills, the video skills, the photography skills, being photographed, the modeling skills, the charisma that he developed, both personally and the charisma that he has with an audience. All of that was developed through celebrity entrepreneurship, and that's the game that we're all playing. And I know that it's a scary game, and it's sometimes not even clearly defined. It can be very foggy. It can be very gray because there's no clear roadmap of how to make your dreams happen. Sometimes you don't even know what your dream is. You just have something that's pushing you. I'm sure every single one of you has some kind of a psychological scar that is pushing you. The way my scars have pushed me. Graduating from the Wharton Business School, coming home to get the attaboys, and what happens? My parents get into the biggest argument of all time. My dad storms out of the house. I turn to my mom. I say, Mom, the way he resents you all these years, have you been cheating on Dad? And I'm sitting on the couch in the living room where I grew up my whole life. And I'm thinking to myself, where did that question come from? I never even thought that question before, even once. And then I'm thinking, what kind of smart ass kid asks his own mom a rude question like that? And then I'm thinking, why ain't she answering that question? And then she says, he's not your real father. Your real father was a doctor in the fertility clinic we went to for 6 years, trying to have you. And you look just like that guy. Say what, Mama? See, that's what's been driving me. And I remember the time when I was in Phoenix, January 3rd, 2013. It was probably my, I don't know, second or third time in Phoenix. I was on my way from my second TV appearance of the day to my third TV appearance doing the same exact segment, 3 New Year's resolutions you should never make. And as I'm walking through downtown Phoenix in my heavy wool suit, It's 80 degrees and sunny. And I remember the corner that I stopped on. I've made a video there one time. It's on YouTube. You may have seen it. And I remember standing on that corner and thinking to myself, what am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I doing this? And I didn't know why I was doing this. Something was pushing me. The wounds. And less than a year later, I was sitting 6 feet away from Brooke Shields on the set of the Today Show, Studio 1A, 30 Rockefeller Center in New York City. And Brooke Shields was saying to me, you know, you say that, oh, heck, why don't I just play you the little quick video? I got it right here. Here it is. I play this in every presentation.
We're so often out of our comfort zone when we ask for ourselves. And you mentioned that that's an important thing to ask of yourself is how comfortable are you not being comfortable in your comfort zone?
Right. Yeah, pushing through your limits. You know, life begins where your comfort zone ends. And the more you push outside of your everyday life and your boundaries, the more you're going to grow as a person and achieve in this world and create as a legacy.
It's scary.
Okay, that's when it's great, is when it's scary.
I went on that show and I had my new book, Break Through Your Upper Limits, on TV. I didn't sell any books, none. But by redeploying this asset right here, I have made millions and millions of dollars. And I had no idea on that day in Phoenix where I was going, but less than a year later, that's where I was. And what I have found is that the times when I felt closest to healing the wound, not knowing, and whatever other psychological wounds may be really driving me, the times when I felt closest to healing those wounds have been the times like that, when I've had the privilege to share my message, my unique message, on big stages like the Today Show, or in front of thousands of people at Win the Storm, or on Fox Business Channel. And the other times when I felt closest to healing the wounds have been the times when I get to see my friends, many of whom start out as clients. Will Nobles, I didn't know Will Nobles. I didn't know Will Nobles. He was a client. But I'm proud to say he's a friend now. I'm proud to say I know his wife shares my birthday. I know his kids. I know all about him. My Allie knows all about him. And when my friends get to share their message and make their difference and transform their lives and take their life to the next level and provide a legacy for their families, that's when I really feel like I'm healing. So thank you, Will. And thank all of you.
No, thank you.
All right. Let's go on. Who is the next person? Let's see. I'm really excited to talk to, I want to see Kim Glass. I hope Kim Glass stays on here because I can't wait to see Kim Glass on Washington, D.C. But I'm really super proud of Leon Bree. Leon booked himself in Santa Barbara off a cold call. Tell us about that one, Leon.
Yeah, I did that strategically. I printed out the Southwest map.
Yeah.
You can see it. And then picked the West Coast cities and then East Coast cities with like different time zones. And I decided to go after Seattle, Spokane, or you say Spokane, Portland, and also Santa Barbara. So I called Santa Barbara and was able to get the date on the first call. She was like, after I pitched her and went through the whole pitch, she said, so when would you like to come? So I gave her a date. I said November 8th. She said, okay, I'll call you back. So, and then she gave me her personal email address because the PDF attachment, my email didn't get to her company, like the station email. And she gave me her cell phone number.
So what show were you on? Put the link in the chat so I can pull it up.
But here's the thing. I followed up with the emails that you teach us, the 5 emails.
Yep.
And in response to one of the emails, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, she was like, I'm glad you're on ground in Santa Barbara and you're in Santa Barbara, but I'm not going to be at the station on Friday. So there's going to be another producer and 2 co-hosts, anchors, who are going to take care of you. I said, okay, sounds great. She said also, would you like to use any videos or images? I sent her a couple of B-roll possibilities and also the cover of my book. I resent it again.
Okay.
So I appeared on Fox 11, Santa Barbara.
Cool. I'm excited. I don't think we've ever had anybody on this show. So here's Leon Bree on Fox 11, Santa Barbara.
Welcome back. A new book is looking to help people who feel like they're stuck in a rut. Author Leon Bree is joining us this morning to talk about Unstuck, his new book. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
So what is...
All right. Now, you're awesome, man. I really love it. You're smiling. You look really charismatic and fun. You got the hands up. I love that. Personally, I suggest that you button that jacket button, tuck the tie into your pants, and sit down on the back of your coat. Okay? That's what I want to see from now on.
Yeah. Also, it depends on the setting, though. Sometimes it looks, if they can see that it's tucked under my pant, it would look weirder than not. You know what I mean? But in this case, you're right. I have to button it. Yes.
From what I have been told by my mentors.
Yes.
You are a more effective salesperson if your jacket is buttoned than unbuttoned.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it. Yes.
Inspiration behind your new book. We have a copy of it back there behind us. What's the inspiration?
Well, if you've ever said same story, different day, then you can relate to more than 2/3 of Americans who say they're trapped in the same daily routine. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to feel happy, be successful, and have a thriving life, you can't be stuck in a rut.
That's right. What makes you qualified? What sort of...
Dude, that was a fantastic answer to that question. It really was.
I was really nervous. This is not my best performance.
Leon, that was a fantastic answer to that question. And what I love about it is that, look, this is your standard opening. And really, I wrote those lines expecting the host to say those lines. But you see the versatility of the line.
And sometimes they do. Yes.
It's basically the correct answer to any question they ask you first. Because it's like, what's this really all about? And then the answer to that question is, hey, look, if you've ever said same day, different, same stuff, different day, or whatever, then you can share the emotion of 2/3 of Americans who feel like they are stuck in a rut. And I'm here to tell you that if you want to be happy and lead a successful life and feel fulfilled, you can't be stuck in a rut. It's so perfect. That's what this whole thing is about.
These have you done? How are you qualified to sort of help people get unstuck?
I just like American, I've been stuck myself. So my personal experience, and I've been coaching business owners and people who are stuck in different areas of their life, their relationships, their health, or in their business.
Hey man, what about you don't want to talk about your job? Doesn't that give you qualification?
It's cringy. Well, it's not scripted. I scripted something very short, like story saying, well, yes, I have a script, but I haven't practiced it, so I wasn't ready. It was half cooked. So that's why I didn't go with it.
Well, let's hear what you were going to say.
Okay, I'm not going to read. One day. Well, I woke up one day and realized I wasn't living my life. I was putting off my life. I was stuck in in a job I hated, heartbroken after a relationship, and in drowning in credit card debt. So things like that. And then I go into you're either you're either thriving, you're either stuck, or you're thriving. There is no third choice.
Now you all see how important it is to rehearse.
Of course, so it's not. So it's one of the stories that I can use as an answer.
Yeah, but like, all right, cool. Let's continue.
So that's why I wrote the book to, show them how to get unstuck, get out of that rut.
Okay, and you have some props for us. So go ahead and show us what these props are all about.
There's some things that might make you feel stuck and want to get unstuck. For example, do you feel like you need some excitement in your life?
Yes.
Or maybe, are you out of shape?
I'm all right.
Or are you jealous of your friends' experiences?
That is a big thing for people. Social media jealousy, FOMO, all that stuff.
Instagram, Facebook, do you see them on social media?
Yes.
And you grumble to yourself because they're having fun and you're not.
Right.
Or do you want to get a promotion, but don't know how?
Yes. So what are some of the ways to fix these issues? How would you, if you're feeling unstuck, what's the first thing you tackle?
I have 4 simple tips for you today.
Okay.
Just to get out of the rut. First tip is to focus on one thing at a time.
Yeah. Now, look. Okay, that should have been smoother.
Of course.
This is the second time they've asked you that. What's the first thing you should do? Right?
Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, I was nervous. Yeah.
Why were you so nervous?
I don't know. Because it's timed, and she's cold. She's not responding. She's like interrogating me. That's how I felt.
Leon, the funny thing is that this is the smallest show you've ever been on. You were on in Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, this was similar to San Angelo. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like a little tiny station in the middle of nowhere.
The funny thing is, in Washington, D.C., I felt better. It was fun. The environment, you're on a couch, right?
Yeah.
It's like in living room, your conversation flows.
I tell you, part of what that is about is that the bigger the show, the easier it is because the talent is better.
Yeah. They tell you sit this way, move this way, right?
And they're better at asking questions. They're better at making you feel comfortable and natural. However, as I'm sure you also experienced when you're on a big show like in Washington, D.C., it's more pressure because it's a bigger studio. In D.C., there's a live audience, right?
This when I went, there weren't any extra people, just the people who were gonna.
Okay, but it's a big studio.
Yeah. It's a lovely studio. Yeah.
I mean, look, wait till you're on the Today Show and there's 100 people in the studio.
Right.
1,000 lights in the ceiling and 10 cameras everywhere.
Right. I have to be ready for that.
The bigger the show, the bigger the pressure. But at the same time, the easier it is because the hosts do a better job. Let's continue.
When you go back to your why, that's the first thing you gotta do. Go back to your why. Go to the perspective that you once had, and you probably lost along the way when everything got so busy, you got tired, and you got stuck. You gotta intentionally go back to the original motivation and momentum that you once had. That's gonna reignite that fire you need to go forward. Tip number 2 is to get moving, and by get moving, I mean the very meaning of.
Hey, listen, this is painful. You know why? Because this shit should be just flying right out of you.
It sounds like I'm talking the script and
trying to remember what to say.
Right.
When really these 4 points, you should have this memorized. You should just be like, boom, 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 boom.
Is it too many words? Because I also think there's too many words.
It could be too many words, but if you had it memorized solid enough, it wouldn't matter. You just fly right through it. But you're stumbling through it because you have not rehearsed it enough. And there's no excuse for that. You got to rehearse more so that when you get an opportunity to go on a show, it just comes flying right out of your mouth. Let's continue.
word stuck is lack of movement. So what you want to do, whatever you have in mind, whatever you're thinking of doing, stop thinking and start doing. Literally launch into it. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and launch into it. Start, get going. Because I promise you, once you get going, it's so much easier to keep going.
That's too much work.
Number three is
to focus on one thing at a time. Listen, it's so easy to feel overwhelmed when you've got so many, like 100 items on your to-do list. And that's why we gotta be just tackling things one tiny step at a time. You're gonna be taking, this is our secret, take the biggest, the scariest thing, the task from your to-do list, and tackle it the first thing in the morning.
Too many words. You're right. There's too many words. You're trying to say too much. You've got to trust the script and just go right through it.
Here's the thing. I rewrote the script, so I keep rewriting it with new examples. Is that a good thing or no?
It's not a good thing.
So it should be the same thing every single time?
Every single time, because your mistake is, Leon, is that you think you need better content. Hey, man, the content I gave you is the best content you're going to have. Stick to what I gave you and learn exactly what I told you to say and say it. And stop trying to improve the content, because I will take, and this is a writer downer for every single person. I hope you guys get this. You better get this now rather than later. I will take an outstanding performance of mediocre content every single time, as opposed to a mediocre performance of the best content.
Right.
Now let's just say that your content is improved vastly, but your performance has decreased vastly.
Yep.
You've gone the opposite way. And hopefully you've learned your lesson on a little tiny station like Santa Barbara. I want you to go back to the original script. I want you to focus on only saying the words that I wrote.
But this is not what you wrote. You wrote the free formula.
Why aren't you staying with that?
Because two of the producers didn't like it.
They don't like the formula.
Yeah. They said give us more examples, more practical stuff. Like Nayada said, more practical stuff. That's the reason I changed it.
Okay. Well, look, less is not. I mean, more is not better.
Okay.
Less is always more.
Okay, I'll cut it.
And while you can give more examples, you got too many words.
Got it.
Try to stick as close as you can to what I did.
Got it.
All right, let's continue.
And also, last one before we go.
The fourth tip is to change what you say. We tend to make our problems bigger and worse by what we say. We take a tiny molehill and turn it into a mountain. So your words have power. And you know this because you've probably been the recipient of someone else's kind words.
Or unkind.
Unkind, but use that for yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone that you love.
Thank you so much for joining us. How to Get Unstuck is available where books are sold. Leon Bree, thank you so much.
Now, Leon, have you written that book?
I have the draft.
So it's not even published.
It's published as Kindle on Amazon.
Okay, good. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been published for a long time, since the beginning. I just want to finalize it, make it the best so that I can print it into physical copy.
Very good. Congratulations. I think you're doing great. Hey, man, I love that you're booking yourself on cold calls, and I want you to keep going. Tell everybody what it's like to make these cold calls and to get booked. Because there's people coming to Celebrity Launchpad in December who are on this webinar right now who have never been on TV and haven't done any cold calls. What do you say to them?
It's actually super easy. Once you get your pitch down, once you practice your pitch and you know what you're saying and the tonality you say it with, which Clint teaches you from start to end. Once you have that down, you just pick up the phone and go through the numbers. Talk to producers and see, what they say. If they say, okay, we don't do guests, okay, move on to the next one. They say, okay, email me. You email it right there and then. Make sure they see it. If there's a problem emailing, you re-email again. You follow up with them. Basically, get get them to see your segment proposal. It's really easy. I'm limited on time. Otherwise, I would be doing more of that.
Good. Very good. All right. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Keep up the good work, Leon. It's really great. Let me ask
Thank
you
you.
this. How's this carrying over into the rest of your life?
What do you mean?
Are you feeling any different?
Yeah, personally, me internally, of course, this and Carnegie Hall event are making a big impact on the way I see myself. Right? It's a good tangible proof in the outside world to feel better or have a different outlook on myself. It's definitely improving me. So I take care of myself more. So I'm conscious. I'm getting more sleep now because I know that's going to improve my health, improve my skin. Because of that, I'm gaining weight. I'm getting cheeks now. So small things like that. And then when I meet my friends or college friends or haven't seen them and they're friends with me on Facebook or Instagram, they go like, "Oh, you're up there. You know, you're a celebrity." And people call me celebrity. You know, business partners call me celebrity now. Yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, you just began. It's only
Of
been a
course.
few months. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right. Very good. I see that Tamisa is on here. I wanted to just point something out to Tamisa. Let's see. Unmute Tamisa. Hello, my darling. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I just wanted to point out to Misa that I saw that you posted on Facebook, go out and have some fun this weekend. Let's see if I can pull that up. To Misa. All right, so here's Tamisa Lyden. Make it a fun weekend. And I saw that post, Tamisa, and I thought to myself, I hope you're listening to this. I really do. I thought it would really be good for you to have a recurring segment on Ed's show in Phoenix, since you're local. And you should have like, what's fun this weekend? And you should go on Ed's show every Friday and talk about fun things to do in the Valley of the Sun. Man, I hope you heard this. I really, really do. I really do. All right. Time to go to Kim Glass. Where's Kim Glass? Are you there, Kim Glass?
I'm here.
Yeah, there she is. Well, hello there. All right, now Kim Glass. How many TV appearances have you been on?
One.
Yeah, and where was that?
Washington.
Now let me ask you a question. How many appearances were you invited to do when you came to Celebrity Launchpad?
I was invited to 8, I believe.
And why did you go to Washington, D.C. first?
Well, I had submitted and had not gotten confirmations back. And so I had submitted 3, and Washington was the first to respond. So I went to Washington.
All right. Well, look, you know, I really encourage people to go to the small cities first and then work their way up to the top 10 markets, including Washington, D.C. Now, with that said, we have an outstanding person here, Kim Glass. And if you would please put the link in the chat, I'll be happy to take a look at this.
Okay.
Now, I just got a private message from Leon that Chicago and San Diego are not responding to his emails. Hey, look, that may very well be true. But other people just pop on Chicago. Boom. I don't know how
When
it
life
goes.
takes a scary turn, we let
Right.
fear take over. But fright doesn't need to be a way of life. Coming up, we'll have some tips on how to live in unshakable courage after the break.
Winter, fear in winter. Fear may be encouraged on this eve of Halloween, but living in it every day can actually threaten your path to success and personal well-being. That's right. So here to help people let go of your
Wow, I really like these two hosts. These are both new hosts on this show. I like these girls.
They were awesome.
Yeah. Let me ask you, when you went to this show, were there any celebrities in the green room or anything like that?
Yes, there was.
Yeah, who was there?
The editor-in-chief of the National Enquirer, Susan Goldberg.
Really?
National Geographic.
National
What did I say?
Geographic. Yeah. You said the
Yes,
National
and
Enquirer. I'm like, whoa, that's still
I'm sorry, the editor-in-chief of National Geographic with her book representing women.
Cool.
So we got I have pictures with her coming on my next blog post.
Yeah, that's a good caption celebrity there. Congratulations. Let's continue.
and learn to live in power is the author of Unshakable Courage, Kim Glass. Kim, welcome.
Great to be here.
Your story is incredible, how you overcame fear and actually broke out of a religious cult, right, when you were younger?
Absolutely. I know how.
Okay, so this is your first appearance, see? So you're going to fall into that trap. Here's the trap. You go on these shows and they ask you questions and the answer is always yes, because they know what they're asking. They're asking you a question to lead you right in. So you were a member of a religious cult. Yes, I was. Absolutely. You don't need to agree with these hosts.
Okay.
Don't agree with the hosts. They say you were actually a member of a religious cult. And what you should do is just go into the story.
Okay.
I remember when I was 16 years old and the religious cult leaders separated us from the family. And one day I was sitting next to her in the car and we drove to the supermarket and I hadn't seen my mother in a year and a half and there was my mother. Or whatever you're going to say. But don't agree. Don't say absolutely. Just get into the story. They want you to be the show.
Okay.
Feels to live in fear. I was a member of a religious cult for 35 years, and I broke free as I saw that same exact pattern being duplicated toward my daughter. And that's when I said, enough is enough. I refuse to live in fear.
And your book and your story are out today. What was it like writing that story?
It was so amazing to write that story and to share what I've known so well.
See, we didn't get the story. And your whole thing, Kim, the whole freaking thing is about you sitting in the car and seeing your mom. That was your chance to tell the story. That's what they all want. Nobody wants to be preached to. You know that better than anybody. Having been a member of a religious cult, you could go the rest of your life without being preached to. Well, the rest of us feel the same. You know what we want to hear? We want to hear stories. That's what we want to hear.
And to encourage people. And in a recent survey, 84% of people are living in an irrational fear that's keeping them awake at night and preventing them from creating.
Nobody wants to hear statistics. I give the statistics for the anchors to say because they're news anchors and they feel like they need to say statistics. But you, as a messenger, you're not there to tell statistics. You're there to tell stories.
Okay. What they want for their family.
You have some tips for people on to know if they're actually living in fear, right? There's like 3 questions you can ask yourself.
Absolutely. Question number 1.
There's absolutely again, all right? You're saying absolutely because they're asking you softball questions so that you can just go right into your thing. Don't agree with the hosts. That's not your job. Your job
Okay.
is to say the talking points, not to agree. And the reason why, unfortunately, you're learning this on a big station, the reason why you're saying absolutely over and over and over again is because they're asking you the questions that you ask them to ask you. So if you ask them to ask you a question, don't say, that's a great question, or you say this and this is true. Absolutely. You don't need to do that. Okay?
Okay.
That your friends will not agree with your opinions.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Exactly. Question number 2, are you afraid that you'll get fired? And question number 3, do you not even try because you're afraid that you may fail?
Hear that a lot, right? Hear that a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, so if we answered yes,
Absolutely is a virus. You've now said it 5 times on this show. I want everyone to learn from her example, because the absolutely virus is a very prevalent disease in spoken word in America today. And unfortunately, the people who say absolutely are people pleasers or servants. Hey, waiter, can I get some more bread and butter, please? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's where you're going to hear absolutely a lot. And it's the opposite positioning of what we want. We're not here to agree. We're here to give our opinion.
those, what does that mean?
Well, if you answered yes to 1, we're all human. If you answered 2 or more, you're possibly living in fear.
Yeah. So then how does somebody, like that first step, because I think we all experience that at some point. It's a matter of how we can kind of control it and get out of it, right?
Absolutely. The first step is to learn to be brave. Believe in yourself. It's the very foundation where your confidence lies. Our roadmap. Create the map to follow to remove yourself from fear. A, abilities. Use your own abilities and create new abilities to take you away from that fear. And V, views. Focus on your goal. It is the only thing to focus on. And E, expectations. Forget about everyone else's expectations and focus on your own.
That's so hard.
Now, Kim, how many times did you rehearse that formula?
I lost count.
A lot, right?
A lot.
Did you see that, Leon Bree? Did you see how she just went right through it? No stumbling. It was just like boom, 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 boom. That was really good. And that is a perfect example right there of a person who was having a tough segment and really turned it around through the use of rehearsal and scripted formula material. That was really, really great, Kim. I really like that a lot.
Thank you.
How did you feel when you were on the set and you just nailed that formula like that? How'd that feel?
I just felt I felt comfortable from the time. I was nervous before I got on the couch and they started the interview. And as I got into it, I was just very confident and comfortable with it. And I was really glad that, that story could have been dark, or heavy, as we actually pitched at the launch pad.
Yep.
But I felt good about it being like it showed the positive of my story.
Cool.
As opposed to it being heavy.
Great job on that formula. That was really solid. Let's continue.
How you move yourself through the fear.
Right. How did you do it? Was there just, I know you said you kind of had a moment you looked at your daughter and you were like, enough is enough. But did you realize you were doing all of those steps, or did you just like take action and get to it?
I took action and I got started. I started believing.
All right, now, here's something I got to point out to you and to everybody. Hands. And I know you're there using your hands and you want to use your hands. You got to use your hands more in real life because they look a little contrived. They look a little stiff. They don't look natural in this setting. And I got this feedback from Ed, the producer in Phoenix. Not about you, but about a lot of our people who are going on Ed's show. He goes, this is what Ed said to me. He goes, Clint, I got to really be careful about putting more than one of your students on the show any given day because what happens is when your students get on the show, boom, they start getting into the hands, and they don't look as comfortable using their hands as you do. See, I was using my hands last week when I was on his show. When I'm using my hands, it's because I'm always using my hands. And for some reason, my hand gestures come across more natural. Well, Kim, you got to use your hands all the time.
Okay.
Not just when you're on TV. In all of your life. If you guys want to be good at using your hands on TV, you got to start using your hands all the time. And it's only going to help you to be more expressive. It's going to help you to be more persuasive. It's going to help you to be more entertaining. Hand talking. This is one of the reasons why people love Italians so much, right? The Italians are always talking with their hands. People, yeah, it's like the Italian people are just very entertaining, passionate, you know, and part of it comes from use of hands. So I want you using your hands more than just when you're on TV. Deal?
Absolutely.
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 Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Myself and knowing that if anything is going to change, it's for me to change it. And from that, the path opened up, and here I sit on the other side of it.
Yeah. What was that like, though, afterwards? Because you're coming into a world.
By the way, I want to say I'm so happy you're wearing black pants. I presume you got black shoes or boots on, right?
Yes.
Flat heels.
Yes.
Beautiful. We should not be looking at your legs. We should not be looking at your feet. I love, all I see is that nice bright blue top and your pretty face and smile and great hair. So great job on that. Another thing is be careful of the nice girl hands. There they are right there. Right?
Right.
That you didn't know. And I mean, just escaping is one thing, but
See,
then
look at the host. This host knows how to use her hands. Watch her hands.
having to kind of relearn the way the outside world was. How did you overcome that fear?
So I overcame that from just believing in myself, knowing that if I could get through on the other side of it, I didn't have to have all the steps laid out for me. I got started and I just followed the path, and the path actually opened up for me.
Wow. I know that there are even more questions you can ask yourself to know if you're in fear. Those are available on your website. Is the book available there as well?
Absolutely. The book is available today, live today on Amazon.com.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Kim,
you.
thank you for sharing your story, helping us all be brave.
Yes, thank
I
you.
appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Hey, very nice. You know, you got to work on the hands because, you know, they just look a little bit awkward. They don't look natural enough.
Gotcha.
But I will say this, for your very first television appearance, that was very good. Congratulations. I know it's a lot
Thank
of
you.
pressure. It's a lot of pressure, and it's a big show, and I think you did very nicely.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Now, what was your big takeaway from this whole experience?
The takeaway, I think, for me was more comfortable in my script, you know, to where like the hands need to be more natural. My conversation was more, you know, it felt more natural because I have spoken that for so many years. But you helped me get it really tight on the script. So I didn't, because I was memorizing it so much, I wasn't wondering about what to say.
Yeah, well, that's very good. So you would recommend people study their scripts, learn their scripts, and rehearse their scripts. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Good. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. And
it was a great week. I mean, I packed out the city. I had a book signing, and then I had a friend that saw that I was on TV locally and invited me to an event, and I showed up there, and I got 3 more celebrity photos while I was there. And from that, from all of that happening in Washington, I've done a magazine article. I have 3 interviews next week, and I have 2 Meet the Author events of people reaching out.
Wow, that's amazing. Who were the other celebrities you got?
Are you there? I can't hear you.
Yeah, who were the other celebrities that you got?
I think I'm muted.
No, you're not muted. Who were the other celebrities that you got?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Leon? You can hear
Can't
me.
hear you. Can't hear.
All right. Let's see here, everyone. How about that? Can you hear me now? No? Can you hear me now? No? All right. Well, I'm going to type it in the chat. Who were the other celebrities? We don't know? All right. Well, look.
How do you spell Lou Dunning?
Speak. I can hear you. Go on. Talk. Funny. Technology. Anyway, folks, not the ideal way to go to Washington, D.C., but you know what? Getting on TV is all that really matters. That's the most important thing. And there's Tamisa with her pith helmet. I love that. Lou Deming and Doc Walker of the Washington Redskins. Cool. All right. What matters is getting on shows and making stuff happen. If you show up, amazing things can happen. As you heard, she got articles, she got interviews, she got more celebrities. That's what this is all about, making it happen. And I'm very proud of Kim and Leon and Will and everybody who was on shows. And I know that Dave Nassani's been booking himself on some more shows off cold calls. And this is what it's all about, guys. I wanted to say this about all of that. Let me close this out. Being a celebrity entrepreneur is really the most challenging thing about it is that nobody is telling you what to do. No one is making you make these calls. No one is going to make this happen for you. It's entirely up to you. That's the whole thing that's so tough about this. This is a self-motivated experience. This requires initiative. If you don't do it, it ain't going to happen. For example, Allie and I, we are doing an event in June with, I'll show you, with Dr. Oz. Let me bring it up. Where are we? Here's the event. It's got Dr. Oz, and it's got Dr. Drew, and Dr. Jocelyn Elders, who was the 15th Surgeon General of the United States, and Mike Massimino, who is a NASA astronaut and recurring character on The Big Bang Theory, and the real Patch Adams, who inspired the movie starring Robin Williams. And I'm doing this event at the New York Academy of Medicine. Now, it's June 12, 13, and 14. And I don't have anything planned after that. I don't have it planned. Then I'm looking at next fall and I'm thinking to myself, if I don't plan something for next fall, I'm not going to have anything next fall. Like this fall, we had Carnegie Hall. I specifically have not planned anything for next fall because I'm concerned about the election, uncertainty about the election. But I'm looking at next fall and I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't have anything there. And I'll tell you what, guys, if I don't make it happen, it ain't going to happen. And that's exactly what I'm talking about with all of this stuff. If you don't make it happen for you, it ain't going to happen. You can have all the good intention in the world. Like, we had somebody who's been on these webinars for a while, and she's been wanting to get on TV, and it's like, why haven't you got on TV? Everything's in the members area. All the training videos on how to book yourself on TV, watch them. It's a grand total of 2 hours. There's like more than 300 proposals in the members area that have all been booked on TV. Why haven't you swiped one, deployed it, and booked yourself on TV? My entire personal Rolodex of every TV station in the top 100 markets is in the members area. Why haven't you broken it out and started cold calling like Leon Bree or Dave Nasani or anybody else? All this stuff is 100% about taking initiative. No one is going to do this for you. You come to Celebrity Launchpad, you're going to get a bunch of people who are going to invite you on their shows. You've got to get them to give you a confirmation date. I know it's tough. I know it is. I'm half facetious about that. I know how tough it is to send out emails. But I also know that sometimes they don't respond. But I also know that if you keep sending out the emails and showing them that you really want it, that eventually they will respond. And I also know that if you keep going on cold call appearances and keep sending those clips to the producers who aren't responding, they'll see that you really want this and that you're getting better and that you are good and that they really do want you, and they will respond and have you on the show. If they've invited you on the show, it's because they want you on the show. If they said, I want Kim Glass, they do want you. Why they haven't responded, I don't know. They're fucking, they say they're busy. I don't believe they're busy. I think they're procrastinators. I think that they are bad time management people. I think that a lot of them are just like busy being busy or busy being self-important, whatever it is. I'm way busier than all of them. And if you text me, I'll text you back. If you send me an email, I'll respond. I'm just better at managing my time than most people and most producers. But be that as it may, all of this is 100% self-directed. And it's up to you to make it happen. It's up to you to get yourself on these shows. It's up to you to make these cold calls. It's up to you to get these emails out and get your appearance dates made. And it's up to you to get your ass on television. Good night, everybody.